Welcome to the 201st episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle Executive Editor Eric Schwartz and Chronicle photojournalist Kody Christen. And we're joined in spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, Shayless Outfitters, and The Roof Doctor. We cracked 200, and I took a week off, and we all kind of thought about giving this whole thing up. Still might. There's still time.
I never would have given it up. I'd be doing it by myself if you guys didn't come back.
I would like to listen to a Kody Soto solo podcast.
Yeah. I still have been trying to get anyone to take me up on the 4-hour idea. Someone to do a true Rush Limbaugh type experience where you just come in here by yourself and talk for 4 hours straight about your takes. I'll pay anyone to do that.
I think I could swing it.
I don't think you could.
I just open up chronline.com and shout into a microphone. What do you think I do at home?
Your voice would go out.
How do you think I write the notes?
Pitch changes, the highs and then the lows.
My voice doesn't crack that
You
off.
would run out of gas.
I would think the mics would give out eventually. They just couldn't handle all the differentiate.
Kody and I did a podcast together. It would just be he and I talking since we don't know how to work the board. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'll come up here and talk with Kody, though.
There'd be no sound effects, no nothing. Just clinking ice.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do we got for wildfires right now? Is Huckleberry Ridge still going on, or did that burn itself out?
No, it's still going on. It's about 300 acres, a little under 300. It was reported over, now under. They got some more precise mapping done. And that is down in the southwest corner of Lewis County.
No man's land.
No man's land, 20 miles south of PL. I want to say 11 miles from the nearest community, 8 miles from the nearest structure, period. Mm-hmm. And they've taken to adding into the news release each day that we don't anticipate there will ever be any evacuations or any closures of any road due to this fire. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's burning in Weyerhaeuser land. I mean, it's a big fire. I don't mean to diminish it, but I don't think anyone should be too worried about it.
Sounds like nobody can diminish it.
Yeah, it can't be. It cannot be diminished.
All right. Any other preambles you guys want to get to before we jump into the hard news?
Well, I wanted to talk about
the
scare out at your place the other day. Let me just paint the scene for you. I'm watching football and current events at home, doing manly things.
American Gladiators.
Yeah, working on the
reruns.
car out in the garage, and I get a call.
You've done none of those things ever.
I get a call from Aaron, who inexplicably his hair was full of rollers. He was wearing his nightgown, and he was holding a lamp out in front of him as he screamed at brave first responders to get off of his lawn across the Wanch Prairie.
First of all, we both know I would only call you if somebody was dying, like in my arms.
Okay, you texted.
And it was Kody.
The rest is accurate.
Thanks, man. Did he have the little Scrooge hat on?
He did. He did. And he was super, super upset that the fine men and women of the RFA were saving kayakers in distress on the Skookumchuck River, had used his road for access and driven through his lawn.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed too.
Worked up. Yeah.
See? Yeah, I don't want him driving through my lawn. It's not Aaron's fault that kayakers
Aaron
don't know how to kayak.
Oh, look at this. Oh.
Aaron went from
wait. Let me offer my take on this.
Thinking his house was on fire to being mad that they were there saving someone else.
I was not mad that they were there. I was perturbed that...
Get the hell out of my yard.
First of all, the fire truck came down and we got home. Ty and I had been out to dinner. We get home and a fire engine is parked at the end of not all the way at the end of the driveway, but halfway up the driveway.
Preventing you from getting in.
No, preventing anybody that wanted to go to the lower field where they actually were going to have to drive through the yard to get there. And I was like, well, why didn't you just pull up a little bit further so you didn't have to drive around that light pole? Anyway, so there's a fire engine with lights on, full bore lights, the engine running, nobody there.
You're just quaking with rage at this point.
You should have just hijacked it, man. Just moved it yourself.
I thought about it. The Centralia police car parked right behind that, and there's nobody around. And finally, I see some lights down in the lower field. So we walk down there, and there's an ambulance, and there might have been another truck down there by that point. But they were trying to rescue some people some kayakers who had lost kayaks, I guess.
In distress, kayakers.
In distress, and they were on the other side of the river. So my first thought was like, well, why are you on this side of the river? Like, why not just go to the other side of the river?
Because you know better than the RFA. Go on.
I mean,
Go on.
I'm not. I didn't say that.
Go on.
And so then they had to wait for somebody to come with kayaks so they could kayak across the river to reach. This sounds like a word problem from the SATs. Anyway, but yeah, then when they got everybody out, they were polite, they were great. But then when they were leaving, the trucks came up, and instead of the fire truck just again pulling ahead, all the cars that were down the lower field just barreled up and drove through my yard on the way out. And I was like, what the?
And you
what?
told him
Come
not
on.
to drive through. Has your yard recovered?
Yeah, it has. It's fine. It's
about-
the principle of the
How
thing.
about your feelings?
The yard's
It's the principle of the
if
thing.
the yard's fine, then it doesn't matter.
I would implore
If they like ripped up your yard.
Anyway,
that's
I
why
would like to add that the police I talked to were very nice. They were all polite. They rescued the people and did a great job. I just had some questions about the logistics. That's all.
All right.
Aaron
Just
has
asking
Aaron has a
questions.
lower field.
Wow,
He's better off than I thought.
I
Just
have
want
a
to
lower
implore all emergency responders when responding to the VanTuyl residents, take your time, get some, get a snack. Maybe stop in at a diner.
It was a little disturbing to show up and there's just
Just
emergency vehicles there. Ty and I are both like, God, did we leave candles burning or accidentally set fire to something and leave? What happened?
Anyways, it ended with him screaming, "Oh my petunias!" And then I heard wailing from across the way. It was more like a squall.
You and your lies.
Then I went back to work on my car.
So did he actually call you?
He texted me. The rest of it's all true, though.
100% true. But no, the police and fire folks were very nice and they did a great job.
Don't
giving
try
the
to
people
clean
out.
this up at the end. You were
had
upset. You were big mad.
I was not big mad. They had a drone out, like shining a light on the people that were in need of rescue.
Shaking your broom at it.
I sat outside with the binoculars and looked down at the lower field for a while. But again, I was like, why not just like the river? You've seen the Skookumchuck River.
Mm-hmm.
It is not exactly,
Deceptively
George
dangerous.
Washington crossing the Delaware here.
Well, I don't know. It depends.
It was.
It felt pretty big when it was on my doorstep that one year.
I simply would have called them back and said, have you considered walking up?
Well,
Early September waters can get mighty high.
Yeah. But anyway, that was the big excitement that you've been waiting for a week and a half.
I just couldn't believe how mad you were and how everyone is not going to be on your side, but then Kody's on your side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm on his side.
I just just don't drive through somebody's yard.
you just want the emergency responders to do their jobs, just not to inconvenience you in any way.
Next time I need to pick you up to go somewhere, I'm going to drive and park right in the middle of your yard and see what your wife thinks about it.
Your little
because I
car's
know
not
you
gonna
would
make
never
it through his
notice.
yard.
I have a truck, sir.
I mean, my yard's not very big. You could probably pull up on it and park.
Uh-huh.
Listen,
And the first responders of Centralia are welcome to park on my lawn any time.
You say
Listen,
that now.
any day,
You say that
anytime.
now.
where me and Aaron come from, you don't drive through someone's lawn.
You don't drive through another man's yard.
Yeah, that's not something you do.
All right, fine. My only other preamble was just a real quick one because I know you guys will talk about it on Sports Dump. But man, you guys got bagged online for your picks.
Some
Terrible
of them did.
picks for
Some
the
of them
football
did.
first week.
Deserving, though.
I didn't get bagged on mine too much.
Did you pick WF West?
I did.
Did you pick Napavine?
I honestly can't remember. I don't think I did.
I don't think you did either.
I don't think anyone picked Napavine.
Yeah, they're playing at 2A school.
There's a lot of screen
They
grabbing and
destroyed them.
talking going on that I saw.
I will advise any sports parents that are out there chortling, oh, look at those fools. Don't get too full of yourself. Every time I've seen somebody do that about a local high school sports team over the years, they get their comeuppance real quick.
They get theirs.
Yeah.
No, this. Did you guys see the Chronicle Sports Instagram story?
No.
Well, so on the podcast, the last sports podcast, Dylan was talking about how WF West was playing North Kitsap, and Dylan goes, "Will they beat them? Probably not." And this kid, shout out Connor Coleman, posted it on his story with a
Oh, yeah, I
picture of the
saw that one.
scoreboard, and he quoted Dylan and tagged us.
Yeah, I saw
all I
that.
could do was repost it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I do love that the local kids do have local talking heads to talk trash to, though.
Yeah,
like,
that's
a
fun.
lot
Yeah.
of communities don't have it, so
Oh yeah,
that's what
I'm
we're
fine
here for.
I'm fine being it too.
Yeah, but I'll listen to the Sports Dump, which you're doing tomorrow, and should be on cronline.com tomorrow.
Yeah, it will be.
If
up
Aaron
there
shows
tomorrow
up,
night.
he's trying to get out of it.
I once again implore Kody to take over Sports Dump.
No.
Okay, well, news items. First up, $7 million upgrade to the Lewis County 911 system back on track to be completed by next summer. They've got to plug it in and prank call each other a few times to test it out. Is your refrigerator running? God, it's telling me its pronouns. Come quick.
God, just mocking all angles of emergency response this week, are we?
Basically, their stuff's all old, and they got some federal money in the American Rescue Plan Act, and they're using it on this, which they should. It's a smart move by the county, and it's the kind of thing you should spend that money on. They are, however, also running the levy to, quote, increase funding for the 911 Communications Center, or to be clear, to raise your taxes. As a proponent of smaller government, Eric Schwartz, how do you feel about this this dipping into your personal pocketbook.
It sounds like this is a real necessary expense if you are in the business of respecting law enforcement and 911 communications and things. But there are a series of meetings on that tax measure, which will be on the ballot in November. Starting with one tonight, that's Monday in Packwood. The next one will be September 16th. We're going to the September 16th one at the Mossy Rock Community Center. Then September 23rd, PL, 30th, Toledo, and October 7th at the Twin Cities Senior Center.
Okay.
They all go from 6 to 9 p.m. So you can go shout at the responders there if you like about how
I'm not gonna
inadequate
shout at the
they
responders.
are at their jobs.
Again, I thought the responders were great. Just,
Did you think
be
about
mindful of people's yards.
Did you think about maybe driving over to the Harrison Avenue Riverside Station and parking on their lawn?
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, that's a thing. The upgrades are supposed to all be online by next year, and apparently for first responders, it's a really big deal, especially if you're heading out to East County, that they'll have a lot better coverage now.
Cool.
So that's good. I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but there's also the new ladder truck in Chehalis, and that was also paid for with American Rescue Act funds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So does the new 911 stuff mean we're going to be able to hear the calls better on our scanners?
It means we're going to be able to hear Kody better when he speaks into the mic.
Ooh, burn. It's a good question though, Kody. I don't know the answer to that. I don't hear a whole lot from East County though, at least on my scanner. I know someone else who has a better scanner hookup, and maybe they do, but I do not.
All right. Next item. This is an Olympian story, but we've discussed it, so we're going to discuss it some more. Questions remain about Commissioner Klaus's judgment and conduct, Thurston County commissioners say. I don't have any real notes other than I think there's probably going to be a lawsuit about this.
You think so?
Yeah, probably.
There was an update since that story. I don't have it up in front of me. But the other 4 commissioners all put together a statement that was basically saying they want to wait until they get the full investigation results, and it's important to wait. And that's kind of where that's at.
They were pretty quick to suspend her, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, she's not suspended. She's still a Thurston County commissioner. But they did take her off of like the secondary boards and things like that until it gets squared away.
Interesting. We'll see what happens. Our boy Wayne Fournier is included in all this.
I don't know. Just with
discuss.
everything that's been published and everything that's also kind of floating around out in the ether, I would be surprised if there was a lawsuit just because of the amount of discovery that would be required at that point in time. Mm-hmm. A lot of records there.
Yeah.
Has Wayne been on the podcast?
Several times.
3 times, maybe 4 times.
Yeah, he's been like one of our most recurring guests.
I was curious why you refer to him as your boy.
As he's been on the podcast a bunch of times.
Now I know.
Plus, we call the parade in Tenino, and he's a longtime mayor out in Tenino, so...
He sends
bigwigs, Stone City bigwigs.
I remember the story when he proclaimed how he's mayor.
Yes, he did that one time.
He'll send Schwartz photos, like he went to a Mariners game one time, and he was like, here's me at a Mariners game. Things like that.
Nice.
Isn't that true?
I think so.
Yeah.
So
Next item. Okay. New cases of white nose syndrome recorded in Washington bats these year. And my comment is just white nose syndrome, huh? Is that what the club kids are calling it these days?
That's a good name for it.
Yeah.
But no,
Sure
I don't think these bats are on cocaine.
We're going to have to get in there with them and study what they're up to.
I believe there was a case in Lewis County years ago, and now this update has that there's cases in Thurston County, Benton County, Grace Harbor County, Clark County, pretty much everywhere. It's bad news. If you're going into a cave, make sure your shoes are clean.
Well, yeah.
And keep your head on a swivel.
Why your shoes?
You don't want to track stuff in and out.
And some of those caves, the government is actually introducing a more boiled down, condensed version of this white nose substance.
Yeah?
Yeah, really getting after them, if you know what I mean.
You're referring to crack syndrome?
Next item, completion date for Winco still unknown, but Weir's Appliances considering building on adjacent property. Quit toying with us, Winco. We've already had our hearts broken by those dashing cats from down under. We don't need more misery. Just leave the pieces when you go. Winco is the anchor tenant for the Port of Centralia's new development off the Mellon Street exit, which will also have buildings for other businesses, including a restaurant. And part of this story was adding that there's probably going to be an appliance store in there. No word on the restaurant yet, but I want to ask you guys, what would be the most disappointing restaurant to go in there to you?
I don't know.
I know what Schwartz wants to go in there, though. I know what he's pulling for.
Well, everybody knows I'm a Golden Corral
Golden
guy.
Corral.
Golden Corral. That's it. Make me a happy man.
Kody, what would you like to see in there? Or what would you not like to see in there?
I don't know. I guess worst case scenario, probably just another Mexican restaurant. Not because I don't like Mexican food, just because we have a surplus of those.
I don't think we'd get a Mexican place in there. Like,
Do you think it'd be like a chain restaurant?
I think so. If they're going to stick something in there, I feel like it'd be a chain
So
restaurant.
in my humble opinion, best case scenario is a Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad.
But I don't know how realistic that is. I think we need a bigger population.
Buffalo Wild Wings?
Nah, overrated.
Dave and Buster's.
Ooh, now he's talking.
Yeah, maybe.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, you'd like
Bring
that,
a
wouldn't
little
you?
class to the area.
I'd love a Chipotle.
Come to our child rat casino. A Chipotle wouldn't be bad, but again, like if you want
Love Chipotle.
if you want a burrito, like there are options in
Not
town.
like Chipotle though.
What was the commenter last time that was like, "Yeah, we need a good, healthy burrito place, like a Chipotle in there." It's like, what are you talking about?
Well, we had Taco Del Mar was kind of close to that, but
Still there?
No, they closed down.
Really?
Yeah, they've been closed for months.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
I guess I get my burritos from locally sourced places.
You don't go to Taco Del Mar.
No, I haven't been there in years.
No, I haven't been there in months.
All right, so yeah, there's going to be a restaurant next to the Winco, allegedly. Another restaurant, Hash is already over there. Next item, officials highlight redesigned water retention facility proposed for the Chehalis River. Can we just call it a dam?
I've called it a dam many times, and it's in the subhead, so you don't want to repeat words in your subhead and your headline.
Yeah.
If you had gone to J school, they would have taught you that.
Did you write water retention facility, or was that in the materials?
I'm pretty sure that's how Mitchell turned it in, but I'm not sure. There isn't a grand conspiracy here. It's called a dam throughout the story.
Yeah.
And I don't think just not calling it a dam is going to have much change when the picture clearly shows a picture of a dam.
They say this will be unlike anything else in North America. It would be, quote, tailored to the unique needs of the Chehalis Basin when activated, which would occur when flooding is only when flooding is forecasted. The facility's reservoir could hold approximately 62,000 acre-feet of water. Do we really need to reinvent the wheel, or in this case, the bucket here on this project?
Are you gonna pitch the hole again?
I mean, look, it's been done before.
The idea with this one is that it would be free-flowing and only closed, like you said, when there is flooding in the forecast. It wouldn't keep a reservoir back. They modeled it similar to one other one that exists in Japan, though Mitchell has found a lot of dams that open and close, and he's not convinced, that's the reporter, that it is as novel as is being pitched.
This isn't like the Safeco field of dams.
No.
Would this still produce hydroelectricity?
No, it's
No.
never. It's not even a part of it.
Kind of feels like maybe it should.
I feel like it wouldn't produce much. Have you guys seen the Chehalis River up there? Like,
Well, then what do we need a dam for?
I don't know.
So they're not
To hold the water back when there is a lot of water.
So Aaron, they're not even reinventing the bucket. They're reinventing it wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make power.
It's just a bucket with a hole in it.
that's why.
But the hole's for the fish, though. The fish can go through
water
it.
retention
Yeah.
facility,
Yeah.
not hydropower facility.
I went to a meeting about this the other day. Okay, I know
Yeah,
what's
you're
going
an
on.
expert
You know
now.
nothing.
I watched the video.
So this will hold 62,000 acre-feet of water, but they also explained that during the big floods, we get like an extra 300,000 acre-feet of water.
Yes, Aaron, you are correct in that it will not hold back the entire river in perpetuity.
Well, if you're going to build a dam, build a dam
just
big
want-
enough to stop the flooding.
So
not
when
just
it's
like maybe
raining
calm it
really
down
hard, you would
sometimes.
like for there to be no river and just hold it up there in Willpaw Hills.
I think Aaron just wants there to be a regular dam out there, so there's a new lake for him to go out to with his boys.
What are you? Who are you talking about?
That is a lot like Aaron. He's always trying to get out there with his boys.
You know me. I spent the whole summer on the lake with my boys.
Sipping silver bullets.
Lake
Yeah.
PL, Lake Warehouser.
I don't know. It just feels like a dam that opens part of it. This is like buying a convertible with a top that only closes part of the way when it rains.
What would you know about convertibles?
Speak from an area of expertise, please.
Yeah. I
No
don't
one owns
know.
a convertible in Washington State. That's absurd.
So anyway, yeah, we're talking. What's the price tag on this dam?
Well, it got redesigned, and we do not have it.
Water retention facility.
On the dam, we do not have a price tag yet. So they made a bunch of changes based on the state and federal environmental reviews that were aimed at addressing their concerns. One of them was that it would contribute to climate change because the first environmental review assumed that they would cut down all the trees and burn them. Like, and not use them, which is a little weird. Anyway, stuff like that they've answered, and we're supposed to hear back again later this year or next year as far as what the new SEPA looks like.
It's kind of interesting that they go to all this work to design it, not just throw a price tag on there.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever it is going to be a lot more than it was last time they floated a price tag, which was, I believe, somewhere in the range of 500 to 700 million.
Oh, now the dam floats too?
So I'm assuming now it'll be like $1 billion plus.
Okay.
So it'll be a couple yard sales.
Yeah, we're going to have to sell the learning center next door to fund this thing.
Yeah, just divert the materials.
Yeah. Why don't they build the learning center out all the trees they take out of the dam?
They put the learning center in the dam.
And it's only open when it floods. Closed when it floods.
How much?
Go on.
How much timber do they have to log? Like where the water's going to go to?
I don't
build
know
that
the
thing?
answer off the top of my head.
There's
Why don't they
a
build
lot of
the-
money in that.
Yeah,
just saying.
that's the idea. They would definitely not burn it. So
Yeah, so I'm not the first to have that idea. That's probably good.
yeah, that's good.
Why don't they build the dam out of the timber?
The beavers have been doing it forever. I mean,
Cooking with gas now. They need to get you in the room. Insurance commissioner's office.
Dig a hole,
in the
man.
Office of Chehalis Basin.
Anyway, next item.
It's just you showing up with a model,
popsicle sticks.
just digging a big hole in the middle. As you can see, the water has been taken care of.
Just roll in with a pallet and set it in front of a hose. And I'm like,
Also, I learned during the fire, I was telling Aaron, maybe Kody already knew of this. The fire is burning and it jumped the Chehalis River down in the southwest corner of Lewis County, which threw me for a loop and got me going to a map.
Yeah.
It's the East Fork Chehalis River.
Are they going to dam that
Never
one
even
too?
considered that one. Hopefully.
It must be pretty irrelevant.
Yeah.
We've never. How does a fire jump a river?
Embers get blown across.
paint that
Fire
picture for
jumped
me.
the Columbia River during the Eagle Creek fire like 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, just floating embers, then they land, set another fire.
I just imagine.
That's how
like
fire works, Kody.
I clearly don't know about fire, but I just envision like a flame bridge going across.
It just races across the water.
You said jump, so I think it jumps.
The fire takes human form and pole vaults across the river.
Well, you should have said the embers ignited the other side of the river. That sounds a lot more realistic than the fire jumped across the river.
Yeah,
like
that is what it did.
I think literally, Eric.
All right, next item. Lewis County PUD customers likely to see rate increases in coming years. Wow. First, the smart meters are coming for your data and your health. Now the bills are going up. What's next? We have to let the lineman sleep on your couch when it's windy outside? Is that what you're telling me?
People driving through your yard.
The PUD commissioners opted to keep rates steady between 2023 and 2024, but now it is time to pay the piper, and they're looking at about a 7% increase next year and a 1% increase in 2026. They had meetings about this, and at one of them, Debbie Ost, who was at that meeting, said, I noticed you guys didn't do a rate increase this year, and you were really proud of that. So it almost seems like you're hitting us with 2 years of rate increases in 1 year, because 7%, that's a pretty hefty increase when you consider some of the things that taxpayers have to pay for. She's absolutely right.
Yeah, I don't think so. We have a guest commentary
Oh.
today from David Plotz, Lewis County PUD General Manager, titled Lewis County Public Utility District Rate Increase Necessary, and he kind of lays out all the reasons. The chief one is Bonneville Power, who is like the big dealer of power, increased their rates by about the same amount, so they needed to do that. But he talks about cost-saving measures and whatnot. Mm-hmm. He said that the PUD's recent smart meter rollout lowers operating costs by over $1.1 million per year every year.
That sounds like something one of those robots he strapped onto our houses would say.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, Commissioner Mike Hadler asked, my question is, why are we going with the 7.1% and the 1.25% and not dividing it up between the 2 years and doing less of a jump the first year? Which sounds like the kind of question a PUD commissioner could answer himself. Anyway, Also, they're doing broadband, whether you like it or not.
The broadband is
Different.
different.
Do you
different
not
story.
like broadband?
Are you against broadband?
No, I do. I just feel like the people who don't like smart meters are also going to be like broadband. Absolutely not.
Well, then they won't get it.
I'll get my internet on CDs in the mail. Thank you.
Is that still possible? Can you have dial-up?
I don't know. I think you can. Yeah.
Look
Well,
into
not
that.
if David Plotz has anything to do with it. No, this is actually a pretty good plan. We should have more broadband around here.
That'll be the cover story for the Tuesday edition. Lewis County PD marks broadband internet milestone.
I liked one of the photos here, and especially the cut line on it. It says Rod Baker left and Chris Walker laugh at a PUD broadband project event in Boisfort on Friday. Just looks like they're just laughing at broadband.
Event?
The internet.
Hey.
How was that event?
I liked that they had the 6
Oh,
monitors hooked
don't
up
ask.
to show that they could all run at the same time.
There was
Yeah.
like 12 monitors, and they were all crystal clear off that broadband, man.
What were they showing?
There were sports games, YouTube videos. I think I saw Mr. Beast on one of them.
Oh,
We got some beach volleyball reruns on there.
I don't know. I didn't stick around long enough to notice all of them, but yeah, the event, it was fine. I learned a lot about broadband.
Do you feel like you learned more about broadband or the water retention facility?
Water retention facility for sure.
Okay.
Well, at the broadband event, there was probably like 12 people there, counting me and reporter Mitchell Rowland, and I think 10 people gave speeches. So it was a longer event, but it was
press
it was
event.
good. Yeah,
media event.
it was targeted. We were
Was
just
it
on
what-
deadline, and we were a little on edge. to
Was
get
a
out
lot
there.
of other media there?
No. No one's willing to go the extra mile like the Chronicle to go out to Boisfort.
Sounds like maybe they could have shaved one of those percentage of increases down if they wouldn't have these frivolous events for
Oh
you
my
guys.
gosh.
Why don't they just host it downstairs if there's a media event and you guys are the only
In the
ones
words
there?
of Mitchell, the entire meeting could have been an email.
Oh no! Come on.
Mitchell said that. He said it.
God, just burning Mitchell
no,
on here.
broadband is
No, it's
a
good. I got
plan. I'm glad
no.
they're
I
doing
got. It was a good meeting. I got good pictures of PUD folk that we needed. A good picture of Mr. Plotz looking.
file art.
Yeah, just
Just
stroking his
imagine
chin.
that there's like an
thinking,
attendee just sweating bullets, afraid that somebody's going to ask him to pull out his device and play whatever's on YouTube.
All right, now everybody open up Instagram and go to your Discover tab. And
I'd rather not.
Every attendee in attendance was sweating. It was hot as hell.
all right, anything else you want to cover? Or should we go to break?
Yeah, we can do a roundup at the end.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back. And it is time for segments. First up, we've got Tales from the Takes page. And I have not added anything, but I assume John Braun wrote about how much he dislikes the opposition.
No, you're way off this week.
Oh, okay.
How embarrassing for you.
What did he write about?
How you should vote in favor of the initiative.
Oh, which initiative is that?
Let me find here. They all kind of blend together. Let's see. Say no to lies and economic injustice by voting yes on Initiative 2117.
Oh, sure. Which one's 2117?
So you were way off. That's the revoking the CCA Climate Commitment Act.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know, lower gas prices and all.
Is that the one where never mind. Mitke wrote a column about the CC alumni volleyball game and young and old, that kind of thing.
Yep.
It was good.
Yep. He was right on the nose. It was a good one.
Julie McDonald wrote a column about Ashley Shire and Sweet Dough Cookie Co.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Ashley did a presentation at the AAUW meeting last Thursday, and
cool.
Julie McDonald wrote it up. It was really good. Everybody loves that business, and if you want to learn more about her life, you will read it because it's pretty good.
Let's see. You've got your guest commentary from David Plotz. We just discussed that. We've got Chris Johnson writing about a lot at stake for employers in this year's election. We got some letters to the editor. Letter to the editor, damage not unfixable, but it is easy to see My yard is in grave danger.
Our republic is in grave danger, according to the letter writer. Mayor Kelly Smith Johnson, Centralia Mayor, wrote a guest column for us about some of the positive movements in Centralia over the past couple of years. And then towards the end of the column, she talks about how Centralia is developing its budget for the next 2 years. And if you want to see continued growth, success, improvements, you'll want to be engaged in that process.
Did you see the big letter to the editor news in the Herald?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was quite
Lewis
funny.
County Herald, I made it. I finally made it.
Letter to the editor finally changes someone's opinion on something.
I got the pull quote.
Good stuff.
Big news.
What? Anything else in opinion we need to cover?
No, I mean, I had a lot of letters over the last couple of weeks, so you won't want to miss those.
Yeah, some real bangers
They're
in
all
there.
good. They're all fine. People's opinions.
Kody, you were telling us off mic that you live in a shack, a shed, a garage.
Shanty.
How's the
I believe
roof
you
on-
said shanty.
How's the roof on that bad boy?
No, I haven't lived in there long enough to make it through storm season, so I don't know. I'm a little worried.
Well, if
Who should I call to reassure myself?
You should call the roof doctor and have him come and check it out.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Visit theroofdoctor.com or give him a call, 360-736-0246. We'll provide all the roofing services you need: new roofing and re-roofing, roof repair, roof cleaning, emergency roofing. You know what, man? You could just call them and be like, hey, can you guys come check out my roof? And they'll just come out, give you an estimate. No cost, just free.
None?
Even you could afford that.
They won't even park on your lawn.
By golly, I could.
Yeah. Anyway, anything you want to add about the roof doctor?
No. Just real excited. The roof doctor. Need to get a new spot for them, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so too. People's Champion of the Week. I've got 2 nominees. First, local triathlete to compete in the Ironman World Championship in France this month. That's JC Amos, who is a local triathlete.
Mm-hmm.
She is competing in Nice, France, in the VinFast Ironman Women's World Championship. The Ironman Triathlon features a 2.4-mile ocean swim in the Mediterranean, then a 112-mile technical hinterland bike course, and then a marathon along the coast. Sounds extreme. She's traveled all over the world competing in Ironman events like Australia, Canada, all over the U.S., and Kona, Hawaii. It's exhausting just thinking about it. And then the other one I've got is Carla Hoppe, who's an On-Alaska track coach, and she's 67 years old and won the gold medal at a world pole vaulting competition in Sweden.
Hoppy for a pole vaulter. Very appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I had Alyssa Brooks Johnson, who was inducted
Another
into
track
the
athlete.
WSU Hall of Fame over the weekend.
Yeah.
We ran a story in today's edition from Washington State. Originally, it's produced by Washington State. Nice story.
Yeah, she was quite the athlete. She was like a league MVP in, I think, volleyball and basketball, and then won a bunch of track championships, like all in the same year. They won 2 state track titles in PL when it was basically her and Sammy Robinson each winning like 4 events.
Pretty good. Just flexing his local sports knowledge over here.
I remember those times. Yeah, she was great. Very cool. Kody, do you have any nominees for People's Champion of the Week? Is it Mitchell for taking you to all those cool...
Yeah, the super informative meetings where I learned a whole bunch of good, awesome stuff.
Is your People's Champion the dam? Excuse me, the water
The
retention
water
facility?
retention facility is my People's Champion of the Week. No,
All right.
my People's Champion of the Week is the fish who will be going through that dam, and they are not going to let a dam stop them.
Well, the dam's not trying. The dam's got his hands up. It's
Exactly.
like, come on
You know
through.
why? You know why it's got its hands up? It doesn't want to mess with the fish.
I guess.
I regret you offering Kody this opportunity.
I do too.
Sirens Banger of the Week. 7 Lewis County Jail inmates were charged after a canine located meth, marijuana, and tobacco in an inmate's bunk.
That was my boy Kimbo.
Yeah, they let dogs in the jail?
I think after the smell of marijuana and whatnot, they brought the dog in. What do you mean they let the dog into the jail? It's a canine.
It's his job.
Also, it sounds like from this story, like one guy snuck it in, and I'm kind of curious how he got all that in there.
Oh, I think you know how he got it in
wanna
there.
know.
We had a previous story with the
that
word
wasn't
keistered in it, and
I noticed that wasn't specified in this story, though.
Yeah, well, I don't think that they can just guess where the drugs came from unless they catch you when you're keistering them.
Anyway.
Or unkeistering.
And once you're on that train of thought, then the sheer amount of drugs
that
really,
was, my concern.
some volume.
Anyway.
Anyways.
And then the other Sirens item I liked was just, I love this headline. It's a little bit of everything. Juvenile flees police, crashes, topless woman arrested after melee, says, quote, she just wanted to fight. And then crack pipe found after burglary. Was it the bats?
No. My car got prowled once and the guy left behind his crack pipe.
Oh, sure.
I know.
The guy left it
joke.
behind.
Well, it actually wasn't my car. It was my wife's car. So maybe she's been doing crack. I don't know. They didn't steal anything. There was change in there and everything. Just a pipe laying on the seat.
Weird.
Yeah, maybe I need to actually talk to her about that. She's always too excited for a conversation.
All right, so those are Sirens Bangers of the Week. You want to what's going on with Shayless Outfitters?
Oh, I am glad you asked because the truckload boot sale is underway at Shayless Outfitters, and it stretches from now. Actually, it started last week, but it goes all the way through September 18th.
Okay.
Parking lot sale, summer clearance sale is still happening now as well, so it's double the reason to go. And yes, since you were wondering, you can get a gun at a rebated price at this event. Silver Eagle shotguns are all on sale. You're going to save yourself a lot of money. You can get a semi-auto shotgun for $449. Savage Stance pistols are only $409.
Wow.
They put those on the front of the ad this week.
It's pretty
Shayless
good.
Outfitters is great. Shayless Outfitters had 6 full-page ads in one 16-page edition of the Chronicle last week.
God damn.
Yeah,
They must have some deals.
they have deals, and they want everyone to know about them. They also have Akuma, I believe that's how you say that, rods and reels, all 20% off. 50/50 drinkware, appropriately 50% off. All sorts of good stuff. I could go on forever. Oh, you got chest waders in here, Kody. If you want to get some chest waders in time for flood season, you're going to need them.
in case
We have,
your roof
we have a
fails.
pair in the old photo lab. I'm gonna steal those.
Unfortunately,
No, I think you need new
those
ones.
are made for someone that's like 7 feet tall, so
They said they're size 11.
they still fit. No, they're really tall though.
Oh, are they?
We had Jared tried them on for when we first got them.
I'll adjust them.
Yeah, no, they'll be fine. The ones I
Roll 'em up.
used ripped my legs open and got my legs infected with flood water. So
You've never recovered.
know a
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
or two about those.
Was that during the big flood?
Yeah, the flood of January 2022.
The front porch flood?
The front porch flood. Yeah, or the New Year's flood, depending on who you ask.
All right, next item, we got Facebook comments of the week on the 911 Communications Center. This commenter said they needed the new sales tax for that, but they are upgrading the system with $7.3 million from the feds. And then it gets settled down and explained, and in a surprisingly informative and
I saw that as
relaxed
well.
manner.
It was
Very civil in the
I
comments.
think Bill Saran and Frank Corbin were discussing. It was just 2 adults in the room.
Frank Corbin has a letter to the editor in favor of the 911 measure this week. I think it's in tomorrow's paper, actually.
And then on the latest Winco pictures, this commenter says, a Red Robin would be a serious upgrade for this county if they were to come here.
Didn't we investigated into that?
Yeah,
Hard disagree.
It's not that they're not coming. They haven't filed for a business license or anything. So,
Yeah.
but it doesn't sound like they're coming. But yes, it would really upgrade the
God,
county, Aaron.
That would be devastating to Applebee's.
We'd really know it was getting bougie around here, though, if we got an Olive Garden.
God.
Olive Garden would never survive.
I think Olive Garden would do
It's way too bougie for us.
Olive Garden, yeah. Move over to Riverside Golf Course. The prom kids are going to Olive Garden now. And then on the Adna Toledo football game post, this commenter says, these are really good pictures.
Aw.
Look at that. I think they're talking about Cody's pictures.
I told Kody that, too. He filed 75 of them. So.
Yeah.
That's like, I cut some down too. Like there were probably 20 more I didn't include.
Was
Because
there
I was
any-
like, this is too many.
Was there any photos you left in your takes just because you're like, oh, I gotta leave my boys in there?
Oh, yeah. Of course not. Come on.
What's in the next
Did I
edition?
see in those photos, did you go in the locker room with that?
Yeah.
Nice.
I got that idea from Ridley was doing a football game at the photo workout shop she went to, and they went into the locker room before the game, and I was like, oh, those are pretty cool photos. So I went in at halftime.
Nice.
Yeah, they might have been cooler if the score was different, but
Why didn't you go to the Toledo locker room?
I was going to first, but they were just outside of the locker room. They never went back in their locker room.
I see.
That's something I'm going to try to do maybe before games or at halftime going forward, just because I think the photos are cool. And they can help tell a story. So we'll see.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, the sports stuff from Friday night, the first real night of the football season, was very good. What's in the next edition?
The next edition that comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, did we cover it all?
A lot of what we talked about. Let's see if there's anything else. There was a very eventful mayor's meeting on Friday that Kody attended.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Looked thrilling.
Yeah, that's fine. RC360 Hobbies has opened up an RC track at the Napavine Amphitheater.
Cool.
So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I think long and short of it, we hit most of the highlights. I'm good. There's lots of stuff we haven't talked about, but we'll leave that for the subscribers and readers.
All right, we're sponsored by Summit Funding, Shields Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts if you want, or send us an email, chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.